Hello and welcome to Chicago. My name is Sergey Khusnetdinov. I'm managing partner of Gain Ventures. It's Gain, not gay ventures, not game ventures. It's Gain, like gaining. One of the professors at Duke said, it makes a lot of sense to be a Gain Ventures rather than Loss Ventures. So what are we doing here? 2 years ago, Paul bought a ticket for a pitch competition in Singapore and didn't show up. So we brought the pitch competition here to Chicago to deliver the value on the ticket he bought. And we host those pitch competitions across the globe. And very, very happy to kickstart our half-year to pitch competition roadshow in Chicago, because I think the city has brought so many innovations in the DeFi space that it would be a great omission not to host a pitch competition here. And we host these pitch competitions in Dubai, Singapore, Toronto, in a lot of cities. And there's one key thing to make this pitch competition successful, is to say that my partner and wife, Svetlana, I love you. Thank you very much for contribution to Gain Ventures and for all the work that you put together. She is the real brain and execution behind Gain Ventures. So now we will have a successful pitch competition. And we're also very, very grateful to Decasonic to let us host here, and to all of our sponsors that support pitch competition. Mercurio, Fibonacci, Quill Audit, and many more to follow. You'd be surprised. So the market is booming. Sponsors are ready to go to market, and we keep rolling. So one of our sponsors, Mercurio, is making splashes in US, pouring GTM, and we have a representative from Mercurio who will say a few words to you guys. So please come to the stage.
How's everyone doing today? Good? Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Sergey and Gain Ventures, for allowing us to have a little moment here. I am Abdullah, based out of Chicago. And just as an aside, I am so happy to actually see the Web3 community here starting to build up. Coming from permissionless in New York City, and I know a lot of folks here have been to a lot of other conferences in Miami, Vegas, Austin with Consensus. It's amazing to actually see our community here really start build up. And hopefully what we see here in a few moments with the pitch competition will really help build up that enthusiasm and excitement, especially among the builders. So as Sergey mentioned, we are Mercurio. By the way, I want to take a moment and ask, how many folks in here, by show of hands, have heard of Mercurio? We got 1, 2, okay. So we are among the top global crypto on off-ramp providers, also offering crypto card offerings. If you think of your MoonPay, we're right up there among the top 3 to 5 in terms of volume, right? And as Sergey mentioned, we're really ramping up our activities here in the US. So if there's any builders, venture investors, partners looking for a proven on-ramp, off-ramp providers who has expertise doing that globally, has expertise with card products, let's talk, right? Let's really talk, let's build up this community together. Would love to see it really hyper-accelerate, grow out of Chicago, but any and all conversations, we're totally up for it. With that said, I will...
Yes, one more thing, Abdullah. I'm giving you the honor to present the pitch competition prize winner that we had in Toronto, but we didn't have fancy prizes by then. So he's here today, and I want you to give him a prize. Hamed, please come on stage.
Round of applause.
So please present it to him.
All right, here you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we take a picture?
You can say thank you. And
Yes. Thank you very much. Why don't you just tell everyone, if you're a startup, you should definitely work with Sergey and Gaines. They've been super helpful, super nice, and did it all to help us out.
Super. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, guys, moving along. It's a very rapid pace. Let me secure the mic. Rapid pace. So what's gonna happen next? We will have 6 startups pre-selected by community pitching today in front of the judges from Decasonic, from Maiden 57, from Redefy Capital, from True Score Ventures, David, William, Adam, and Abdul. Startups will have 3 minutes to pitch. It's by design. I will stop the time. If you're over time, you'll get silenced. And you will have 4 minutes to answer questions from the judges. Please be cautious. 4 minutes of the 4 minutes. Do not answer a question like you're giving another pitch, but just be crisp and very to the point. So you'll get questions from all of the judges and receive that valuable feedback. But one thing I forgot to mention. We started our Fund 1. So we now have 5 portfolio startups, 5 more to follow, and we're open to limited partners to join us on this journey. And we'll have a short demo section of all those startups that with us on the roadshow tournée till the end of the year, they will show their majestic progress and what they're building. We also have a wild card. So if you're a startup in the audience and want to pitch, please scan this and send me a pitch deck. After the main lineup, I'll randomly select a startup from the submissions to pitch. So this is your moment to shine. We tend to have 50% of chance for those startups to win. And to really put pressure on the startups, tonight we have $15,000 in audit services from Quill Audit that will be awarded to the winner. There's real pressure on you to get this. Well, $15K will get you to the first smart contract audit. So this is very, very valuable on your journey. Now, one of our startup founders couldn't join us from Dubai. He's joining us virtually.
Hi, I'm Roman Siganov, CEO of Antix. Antix is developing AIGE, Antix Intelligence Generative Entities, turns a handful of photos into a hyper-real avatar that speaks, emotes, and learns in real time. Every creation is minted and licensed on-chain with our Antix layer, so you own it, prove it, and monetize it anywhere. In short, Hollywood fidelity, blockchain trust, creator freedom. Let's build your twin and let it work while you sleep. Generate yourself.
So Roman is sleeping right now in Dubai, right? And his twin is joining. So if you want to generate those kind of twins, just let us know. He has a great background in Hollywood. He produced a show Love, Death, and Robots, and he was able to bring down the cost of special effects production for 1 minute from $400,000 to just a fraction of it, to $20 per minute. This is what they're doing. This is what they're disrupting. And you'll see more digital twins entering the space. Like Decasonic is building AI agents. Every agent will have a face. You will have a face in the digital sphere. And this is a digital twin created out of my photos. So instantly, I can do a lot of them. And now, the live pitch from one of the portfolio companies. Alex, he's just been on the road with Salesforce, Circle. He's making strides. Why don't, Alex, you tell us all about it in just 2 minutes. He's trained to do it in 30 seconds. He can do it in 2 minutes or even 15 seconds. So green button is to flip, and here's your mic.
Hello, sound check. All right. So I am the founder and CEO of Web3 Enabler. We are the world's most boring crypto company. We are the Salesforce partner building out stablecoin payments and building out systems for financial service companies. So as we discussed earlier here with the other speakers, the money travels on rails that are 40 to 50 years old. We all know that's moving on chain. The problem, corporate systems don't talk to blockchain. Our solution, build native tools in those corporate systems, starting with Salesforce, the biggest player in the space. We're the only Salesforce ISV that's 100% that's building 100% native blockchain apps. 150,000 companies use Salesforce, 91% of the Fortune 500. Their premium clouds that are our first targets have 18,000 of these premium companies, and 90% of those companies use one or more apps from the App Exchange, which is where partners like us sell. You know, I don't need to explain to this audience the importance of stablecoins or how fast they're growing. We work with Circle, XRP Ledger. Bridge is one of our on-ramp, off-ramp partners. We also work with USDC. Happy to talk to Mercurio and work with others. Partner Peter and I first did creditcards.com in the first internet wave. So we've been at this on and off for a couple of decades now, with a couple exits for each of us. Our team is really focused on the business relationship. We have seasoned members of the accounting world for crypto, the Salesforce ecosystem, legal compliance. We do have great programmers, but we're really a glue company built on relationships. You know, we started building bespoke solutions. We have the Circle wallet, we have the XRP for Salesforce integration, the Cardano wallet that's going into security review tomorrow. And our first real product that we think has that first market share is called the Digital Asset Wallet. That helps financial advisors and wealth managers see crypto the same way they see stocks and bonds right in Financial Services Cloud. The other product we have, which is the long-term big one, is blockchain payments. We have native Salesforce wallet. We've wrapped Circle's wallet in. We're wrapping MetaMask's in. Whatever wallet you want to use, we connect you for making payments. Payments to your vendors, collecting payments from your customers. We've done the bespoke implementations. The Ada wallet for Salesforce is going to security review this week. The Web3 wallet project we did with Cardano was also sponsored by Cubic Labs, and we built the programmable wallets prototype on Salesforce. Digital asset wallets, like I said, security review. I'm not sleeping tonight because I'm told it's all on me now. And blockchain payments is actually live and approved.
Very good.
The total market, 150,000 companies. And there you go.
Yes. Thank you very much, Alex. Let's get some sleep because we want to get through this security review, and best of luck. Absolutely. Thank you, Alex. All right, moving next. So the next portfolio company pitched to me in Dubai, and I was like, okay, another company pitching about data ownership. Give me a break. I mean, the topic has been there for 7 years. But then the spin that he has on this topic just blew my mind. So please welcome Zach.
Thanks, Sergey. 2 minutes. Hey, everyone. I'm Zach Wickstrom, CEO, founder of Vault. And with every action that you take in our modern world, you are leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs, your GPS coordinates, purchase data, browsing history. You know this. This information is extremely valuable, you know this. You might not know that the data brokerage industry is currently worth about $500 billion per year and growing quickly. To be clear, this is the space of businesses that take your data without your permission and sell it without your consent. $500 billion is that industry, and again, it's growing very fast. So thankfully, governments are waking up to this problem. We see things like GDPR, CCPA. The European Data Act of 2024, the United States is introducing their own federal level data sovereignty laws, and there are consumer-facing solutions like NordVPN, VPN proxies to hide your online activity. There's also companies like Delete Me, an emerging space of companies that reach out to data brokers and force them to delete your data. But this isn't nearly enough. You have these different security concerns handled by different companies, which is expensive and inconvenient for users. None of these products allow you to truly interact with your data in a useful way. And worst of all, the VPN space basically operates like a cartel, with the top owners, with the top brands being shared by the same owners. So the VPN space in particular needs a decentralized solution, which is where Vault comes in. We have an exclusive partnership with Sentinel, the largest DVPN network in the world, and the decentralized nature of our network makes this logging practice fundamentally impossible. But we're much more than just a DVPN, as Sergey alluded to, and I don't know if the slides have a mind of their own at this point. We are a way for you to aggregate all of your data into one place, and our thesis is that we want to build the world's first personal data marketplace. This is sort of a chicken and egg problem because you need like 20 million users before your marketplace is actually large enough to be a marketplace where people can download an app and just get $4 for not doing anything, basically, is the idea. So how do we solve this chicken and egg problem? By bringing things like the data erasure and the VPN to users by offering them value outside of just the marketplace initially. And in addition to the VPN and data erasure, we have a rich suite of data analytics, an LLM that we're working on where you can basically Google your own data. You can be like, what was I doing 3 weeks ago? How much money did I spend in Chicago? We think this is going to be completely revolutionary. As you can see, the presentation and the slides have sort of become detached. But this is what we're building. A personal data marketplace where this $500 billion per year can go into the pockets of the people that create the data and not into the pockets of companies that steal it for a living. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wait, there is also a prize for you in Dubai. We didn't have it. Now we have it. That's
Cheers.
Thank you, man. So the rumor says once Zach signed a term sheet with us, he got 5,000 downloads on App Store. We cannot trace who did that, but we take it. Next, we've talked a lot about stablecoins. So who is building in the stablecoin space? Adrian. So Adrian has an absolutely stunning product that is generating revenue almost from the beginning. Adrian, please.
There we go.
OK. Reveal.
Right.
Let's
Thanks,
reveal
Sergey.
this stuff.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adrian Stern. I'm the founder and CEO of Reveal, and we're building the first universal stablecoin ID. You can think of it as the next iteration of Zelle for the future of peer-to-peer payments, where we have a lot of different stablecoins issued by a lot of different institutions. So the issue with stablecoins today is they're hyper-fragmented, even more fragmented than traditional payment rails, actually. We have over 250 different stablecoins. And as we just heard this morning, the Genius Act is really just going to open the floodgates for more institutions to come to market and launch their own stablecoins. So the question becomes, how does a PayPal user who holds PYUSD easily transact with a Coinbase user who holds USDC, right? They've got to bridge or swap tokens, which is really not a scalable experience. And so we've built the first universal stablecoin ID, which really allows me to just tag Sergey and send whatever stablecoins I hold. I might not even know what that is. And we will automatically settle the transaction in Sergey's preferred stablecoin, preferred network, and preferred account, right? So we create a unified payment experience on top of all the different stablecoins and all the different networks. To bring this new payments network to market, we are actually launching our own payment agent, which we can integrate into social media and messaging applications. So we've seen a lot of traction through that. And we're rolling out our APIs and doing proof of concepts with embedded wallets like Privy and Portal, and working with some of the crypto AI frameworks like Eliza as well. We've seen insane growth. This month alone, we're about to process more than $20 million in volume. And we now have over 180,000 users who have claimed their pay IDs. So I'll keep it at that for now, but happy to talk with whomever is interested in what we're building. We're raising a seed round coming soon, so you can contact me at adrian@reveal.id. Thank you.
Thank you. And Adrian, since you won our New York pitch competition last year, here's your prize.
Thank you very much.
Last but not least, Robert. It took me almost 8 months to really understand what Robert is building. But once I got it, I immediately wanted to get on it. So Robert, please welcome him.
Right, thank you. All right, let's see here. Hi. Great. Let me start with a question for everybody. Can you imagine a world where you just move Bitcoin to Ethereum directly? No bridges, no third parties, no intermediaries? That's the kind of thing that we are producing here. My name is Robert Hirsch. I represent Scalix. I'm a founder. And we have a technology we call the X-Bond. It's a ZK messaging protocol that upgraded chains will have in it. By doing that, chains can directly talk to each other. No bridges, no intermediaries, no third parties, no custodial wrapped tokens anymore, none of that. Now this picture here looks like a bridge, but I assure you, we're not a bridge company. These are bridge companies and projects. You trust their smart contracts. You trust their key management. You trust their liquidity. You trust their oracles, all just to move value from one chain to another chain. With us, the chains directly talk to each other. None of that stuff happens. We're not a bridge company. We are a chain communication project, call it that. Now, solving that problem is good. There's nobody who likes bridges, so that's good. But because we can get rid of bridges, we can transform the way we operate in this industry. Let me explain. We have a concept called service chains. These are layer 1 blockchains. You can build them once and connect them to other upgraded chains. So the service chain can be any utility. So right now there are what we would call service chains, the graph, story, things like that. But they're stuck in bridges, so they could be connected with our technology to other chains directly. Developers can develop once and connect to the chains that they want to connect to. Users no longer need to worry about getting the right coin to do the thing. On-chain liquidity pools allows users to use whatever coin they have to get the services they want. Importantly, fees are distributed differently. Validators certainly get fees, but so do developers and so do investors. And that's a new thing. You got to circle back with me on here. Here's the important part. Now, with utility being their own coin, you could have one tether, one stable coin connected to the chains they want to be connected to, not an Optimism version, Ethereum version, Solana version, one version, not confusing. You only have the control on one service chain, your own service chain, as whoever's doing this. Fee market is $350 billion. That could grow to trillions as long as we can connect blockchains directly together. There's 1,000 reasons to do it this way. The team has been in blockchain since 2013, and this is us. You can connect to us this way. There's a lot more to do once blockchains can talk directly together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Robert.
No prize?
Did you get it, guys? Yeah. Thanks, Robert. All right. Now we had like a warm-up session before the startups. Now you shouldn't have any pressure on you. So the guys been before on the stage, and we'll get the first startup presenting to us. That would be Aidan Kaiser with Deltag. Please welcome. Okay, so green one.
Which green one?
This screen.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
So let me start the timer and go.
Hi, I'm Aidan, and this is my co-founder, Caden, and today we're going to be introducing to you our startup, Deltag. So without further ado, let's get into it. So accepting card payments requires a bank, a local business entity, and dealing with complex compliance infrastructure. Stablecoins and Web3 are obviously the solution to this problem. The problem with ACH being slow, But there's still no clean way for businesses to operate on stables. And Deltaic will be the link between the legacy payment system and Web3. There we go. So what Deltaic is a platform where businesses can create products and subscriptions, integrate a checkout experience via one line of code, and then their customers completely extracted away from crypto, can fill in their typical card payment, and the funds land in a business's smart contract vault as stablecoins. So I'm going to pass it off to Caden to show you what we've built so far for Deltaic and what it's looking like.
Yeah, so I'd like to walk everyone through what an experience would look like for a business. So this is a screenshot of our business portal application. This is where a business would onboard to our platform, where they could see their stablecoin vault balance and ultimately set up new products and services to offer. This just shows how you would set up either a one-time payment product or a subscription model. And there's various configurations you can do there, which are reflected in the checkout experience. So on the front-end side of things, this would be our one line of code SDK integration. This SDK entirely wraps up the checkout experience that someone would be used to in a Web 2 environment as well. We completely abstract away all crypto interactions for the customer. And then ultimately, when the card payments have settled and the stablecoins have hit the business's vault, a business will be able to see all this information on their business portal account and ultimately see the stablecoins landed in their vault.
Awesome. Thanks, Caden. So now I want to talk about Deltaic's revenue model. So the primary revenue driver is a 2% fee on every transaction that passes through the platform. And then as those transactions land in the business's vault, they automatically start earning yield, and 18% of that generated yield goes to Deltaic, with the business retaining the majority of the upside. It's important to note that the revenue scales with volume, so like one explosive business would be worth a lot more than 10 businesses that aren't necessarily doing as much volume through the platform. And then here's just a quick chart kind of showing that given our current anticipated expenses, 3 million of monthly volume would represent break even. And everything past there is just upside. And so yeah, that concludes our presentation for today. Quick 3-minute rundown of Deltaic, but if you want to reach out, this is our contact information, and I'm going to open the floor to questions here.
Super. Yeah, thank you very much. 4 minutes for questions from judges.
All right, cool, we're good. I just want to make sure none of the judges have any investments in any of these different projects, right? All right, that's good in the game. All right, cool. Obviously, in the payment space, it's a pretty crowded space. I talked to plenty of different projects that are looking to do something similar to this. What really makes you guys unique? That's kind of the differentiator for you guys at Deltaic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I think a big part of that is who we're looking to target with our market. We've talked a lot about, how in emerging markets globally, you have lots of builders who, don't have access to something like Stripe. And with AI these days, building products is becoming something that can be done faster and faster each year. And so a big thing for us is frictionless integration. We're going to be a service that you can have integrated, deployed, and be receiving payments with the same day you decide to use us. So I think low friction is a very big thing that we hang our hats on.
And kind of what we mean by that low friction too is that you set up the subscription totally in the business portal, and it's like payments integration for dummies almost, where it's like you integrate one button and the entire like upgrade logic and everything to do with subscriptions is like hiding behind that button, so the business doesn't actually have to build it out themselves. And so it's kind of just like, no bank account, you don't have to set up any infrastructure at all, and you configure everything in a nice online portal.
Okay.
So I have a question. On the one slide, you showed Visa and then going into the wallet. So because the consumer is using the Visa network, does the vendor then pay fees for the use of the Visa and then pay again to change that into stablecoin?
Yeah, as of now, so kind of the way we look at it right now is it's like we wouldn't be a money transmitter to start out with. We would have to partner with an existing payments provider. And so, yeah, what would happen is there would be the overhead of that, and then whatever small margin Deltaic has kind of tacked on top of that. And none of it is shown to the consumer. It all ends up in the business's account. So it's very similar where it's like the consumer were to pay $100, the business might see, $97 end up in their vault.
Okay, it seems like this is working right now. Thanks so much for the pitch. My one comment is, I think you guys do have a unique aspect, which is obviously the vaults, right? This is not something you do see every day for businesses, for on-ramp and off-ramp payments and infrastructure. I do think that the one question that I have here is, as it relates to distribution, what's your thinking on distribution? Which type of businesses are you planning on targeting early on in order to penetrate in effectively and capture that segment market? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be different providers that are integrated in multiple different apps, multiple different companies. So the way that I typically think of it, the way some of the founders in the space think of it, is specific sector target. So I would love more of your thoughts on this.
You have 30 seconds to answer. No pressure. 30 seconds to answer.
Yeah, so the way kind of we were planning on approaching that is find people that are underserved by existing, as like SDK providers like Stripe, and that may be people that are underserved because they can't be involved in U.S. banking, like in Turkey, for example, with the lira. Nobody wants to bank with a Turkish company, so at the moment. So we want to find these companies that are really limited by who's willing to support them, and then give them an option to get paid out in crypto, with the modern financial system.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Now, the unicorns company. You should judge this ship by its name. So, good luck, Russell.
That'd be great. So I hope. Oh, this is a clicker. Good afternoon. I'm Russell Castagnero. I'm a co-founder for Unicorn.eth. Unicorn, as we say, is no-code super app infrastructure for brands and businesses. Now, I know that you've heard the pitch many times before. We're onboarding the next billion to Web3. Yay! I want to tell you a secret that you probably already know. They're all doing it wrong, and it's a disaster for adoption. So, I was the chief of staff at ETH Denver for a couple of years. And ETH Denver, if you don't know, is the largest Web3 event in person in the world. And I saw from the front line how bad things can go. The attendees come and they're excited to engage, and then right away they get wrecked by links trying to scam them, or they have clunky wallet experiences, or there's this miasma of dApps with different using fields, different ways to connect. It's just a complete nightmare. And this is the people that are interested in Web3. So that's the reason we created Unicorn.eth, and we're changing everything. Our first customer, not surprisingly, became ETH Denver. And I can tell you from 2024, when we onboarded people, because it's very complicated, it took 18 minutes to onboard to be able to claim a free ticket to come to ETH Denver. That's not good, in case you weren't really clear on it. Now, what we did this year with ETH Denver and Unicorn, we cut that down to 90 seconds. So 19,000 people coming through, engaging, getting set up with wallets, getting an NFT ticket in 90 seconds. 91% improvement, thank you very much. Okay, I'm done. No, so that's really, really exciting. How do we do it? Well, we bring the App Store model to Web3. So you have to think of it like the Apple App Store plus Shopify plus Venmo. That core functionality that we've all gotten to know. Now, I know what you're thinking, oh, Coinbase just launched the super app. You're a little late. Well, we launched in March, but Coinbase launched their super app. We allow any business or brand to launch their own super app to really drive the experience for their customers, their clients, their community. And that's a big difference. It's very simple for brand managers. They get in, they choose the tokens and networks that they'd like to support, they curate the apps and the dApps that they like, we're Web 2 and Web 3, and they configure the stable coins and investment opportunities if that's what they want to do. Then they click Launch, no code, none whatsoever. And if you don't believe me, you can believe our customers. We officially launched in March. We've had over 170 clients sign up, including ETH Denver re-up for next year and Triple Down, Polygon, Celo, the United Nations, very exciting stuff. My team is great. We've got Griff, who's a Web3 icon and frontiersman. I've already mentioned that I was in ETH Denver.
Russell,
and,
I had to cut you off.
That was 3 minutes?
Yes.
That was the fastest 3 minutes. My God.
Yes. So, questions from judges.
Yeah. Hey, Russell, thanks for being here. That was great. And
Thank you.
I'm a user of the app. It was
Great.
it was much better this year.
Thank you.
The problem is I didn't use it after ETH Denver. So that's the first part is, talk about go-to-market on some of that and how you get people to be sticky. And the second part is, what are the features that you're seeing, whether it's like block explorers, swaps, bridge, like things that will go into this white label hub that, because I've seen this from maybe CrossAngle or something like that from Korea. How do you kind of weave in when you're selling to either a foundation or somebody or a project? What are the big features that you think are the top 2 or 3 that you've heard from clients to go use? Thank you.
So and that's a great question, and it's a very well-informed one.
Thank you.
The first thing is that it's all based on which community you're trying to engage with. Right now, all the wallets are focused on swap, exchange, because that's all people really understand. There's a whole lot more that you can do. So in the case of the first question that you had was, I used it to sign up. It was great, but then what? Well, to be honest, ETH Denver had no idea how well we were going to make it. It's if you've ever been there before, they try all sorts of different things. It happened that we were a huge success. So they weren't committing to have all their sponsors in and all that kind of stuff. This year they are. So sponsors that want to have you activate on their dApps well before the event, you're going to be able to do that. Your ticketing, your scheduling, all of that, it becomes the actual main app for the event, as well as everything else. So for events, it's very straightforward. For different communities, whether and one of our clients is VDAO, and so they're trying to get everybody educated on different environmental things that you can do it DIY and doing it your own, and also leveraging blockchain. So they'll choose the different dApps that they want to include. And then you'll be able to interact with the wallet that you get with those things. Some of them will be Web2, so there's no need for a wallet, but some of it might be voting. Like a lot of these communities, it's really difficult to vote. That happens for them. And a lot more specifics too. Yes?
Can the individual communities interact with each other?
That's a great question. We don't have that right now, and we are thinking about ways to make it so that they can. As an individual, you could. But having like a trust layer, when we have a few that actually ask us and want to lean into that, we'll be able to work with them. I think it's a lot better to do that than to sort of try and figure out how it might work ourselves first.
I've used the application before for Denver, and I thought it was pretty quick, pretty convenient. Other question that I had is, as it relates to the fees that you're potentially taking on the application side of itself and revenue drivers, how do you think of that? Are you taking a percentage off of every single transaction that occurs through the dApp?
So that's a good question. I think that the transactional model is a good one, but the idea that you're going to get some small chunk of swap fees really skews everything to trading. And there's a lot of people in that space, and we can help them, but we're not really focused on them. We're focused on expanding this to everyone else, to really go after the next billion and find a way that hooks them. We already know how it works with games. We already know how it works with a lot of non-purely financial, purely swapping things. Now, when you're buying things, sure, there's a little percentage. That's much, much lower than anything with credit cards. But mostly, we have revenue from subscriptions and from professional services.
All right.
Thank you.
Time for one very smart remark. 10 seconds.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
I mean, I guess from the long-term standpoint, is that where the primary business revenue is going to be coming from? Is just these subscriptions, or is it new users using you guys, or what's kind of like the long-term goal on that front?
So we're B2B2C, so the subscriptions are on the business side, and then they grow the size of their clients or communities or customers, and we get a small fee for each one of those.
Thank you very much, Russell. Yeah. All right, Tyrone, you're next.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tyrone Moodley. Born in Zimbabwe, went to school in Texas, lived through the hyperinflation in Zimbabwe from 2004. So I understand everything about 5 quintillion% inflation. So we're building the blockchain Venmo on a hedged Bitcoin. And what is it? It's a super app for sovereignty. We're building the entire infrastructure from the payment rails, the nodes, through the blockchain, right up until the stablecoin and the utility token. The problem we're solving is $100 billion a year in remittances going to Africa. There's over 350 million people unbanked. There's no access to inflation hedge savings. And there's a trust gap in local currencies. For example, in Zimbabwe, there's over $5 billion sitting outside the banking sector, and people don't trust the banks and they don't trust the government. Gold's already up 40% this year. Bitcoin is at 122K a Bitcoin. There's over $15 trillion in stablecoin transactions annually, and 40% of that is in Africa. No one owns the rails yet. The solution is the Ndapi app. Ndapi means what's up in Shona. And we also have the Believe in Unity app, which is we're going after the churches and nonprofits in the States. My partner is based in Texas, in LA, but the company is registered in Texas. We have a utility token. We also have a gold token. And we have our stablecoin. We partnered with Move USD. So our super app handles everything from transactions, remittances, banking. You get a US bank account with a Visa card. Anybody around the world can have access to this, and you can transfer all within the system. We make money on the yield, obviously. We make money on the gold. We have gold licenses in Zimbabwe and Zambia. We can buy gold, and we've partnered with a company out in Texas that has a stable gold token in Switzerland. So we buy gold at a discount, take it to Switzerland, and we give our customers the ability to hedge their Bitcoin with gold. We've developed an AI agent. So my background is hedging. I've worked on Bay Street in Toronto, building hedging software for banks and insurance companies. And I'm giving the average user the ability to hedge. We send them a daily email. We look at the history and we basically tell them, okay, today's a good time to buy 40% gold, put 40% of your portfolio in gold, just in case Bitcoin goes to zero. Sorry, Bitcoin maxis. So real world applications with we have an NFT tradable app. We give you a bank account. You can buy and sell Bitcoin, gold, Solana, any type of crypto with our stablecoin. And as I mentioned, we're going after churches, NGOs. And as you can imagine, the churches and NGOs move a lot of money to Africa, Asia, and LATAM. We make money on the yield, blah, blah, blah. Let's go forward this. So this is our gold.
And it's time for questions. Questions from the judges.
Yes.
Adam.
Yeah. So thank you very much. I was thinking. I used to live in Malawi and South Africa, so and Pesa, so I'm pretty familiar with this space. And I won't get into the challenges of cross-border in the continent alone, but where are you going to approach this? Is this who is the actual user? Because is it folks that are really struggling to get into the financial system and are familiar with telco points to pay spazas, or are you looking for more like a middle class type of scenario, or who's going to actually use the product?
So my partner based in Cape Town, he's got a crypto license, and he's actually from Malawi. And right now, we're basically moving money from Malawi to South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. And as you can imagine, there's all these networks of people that these traders that need to buy stuff from South Africa, they need to buy stuff from Zimbabwe, and the central banks, they're ruthless. It's a big mafia, and it's very difficult to get money out. So what happens is in South Africa, it's literally got these guys on the street corners with crypto. They're buying crypto with rands, they're selling crypto for rands, getting the rands, moving the funds to Malawi. Guys in Malawi using the kwacha in Malawi, moving the funds back. And at the same time, as I mentioned, our company is headquartered in Texas, and we got the US. We were focused mainly on Africa before, but when Trump came in, we decided to enter the US market. And now we sort of our operations like 50-50, 50% in Africa and 50% in the US. But yeah, that's it. We're going after the Southern African region because I'm known as Mr. SADC. I've got my mother's Zambian, my father's South African, and I'm Zimbabwean. So I have citizenship all through Southern Africa and now in the States and Canada. So, yeah.
Right. 2 minutes more for
Thanks.
questions.
there's a lot going on here, a lot of different products, potential ways to use this. What's the needle mover to get actual users to be using this?
So that's a good question. Our banking app, we've partnered with a local company, CFX Labs, that has given us a white label solution. And we're going straight after the nonprofits and the churches because it's the lowest hanging fruit. And we've already signed up 400 churches. My partner in LA is very good friends with the president of the US Baptist churches. And yeah, we literally got Plaid integrated with our app. So we're going to be competing directly with our favorite other apps, as you know. There's Cash App and Venmo. So we can do exactly the same thing. So yeah, that's what we're going after first.
David, any questions? No? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So clear. All right. Advancing further. Love that for you. LTFY.
Hi, everyone. We are Diana and James. We are founders of Love That For You, which stands short for LTFI. Oh, no, LTFI stands short for Love That For You. We are a Web3 event platform that helps non-crypto users, creators, small businesses, host, monetize, and build communities through real-life experiences without crypto friction. We're basically what happens. We are what happens when Ticketmaster, Facebook, and Uber have a baby and put it on chain.
So existing ticketing platforms have a few problems. One is high fees. So Ticketmaster takes up to 30% of the price of the ticket for some fees. They don't connect the creators with their fans, and there's no ownership of the event.
So why build it now? Here are some undeniable trends that we're looking to and find attractive. Creator economy is booming and is set to be at $500 billion by 2027. Tokenization of real-world assets businesses will be at $30 trillion in a decade from now. Events and ticketing industry is already worth $89 billion, while at the same time, over 50% of U.S. force is set to be self-employed in basically 2 years from now, entering the gig economy. And we are building on these trends for those people who will be looking for streams of income, starting businesses, and we will be there to provide that demand, to answer to that demand. Solutions we offer, like how we're going to achieve that. Like I mentioned earlier, we took the best parts from apps like Ticketmaster. Event browsing and ticketing will be done through our app. We have the Facebook part in it. We have our own social hub with profiles, content feeds, way to connect, stay in touch for users. We have monetization tools like you would with Uber, where creators, big and small, from large venues to individual businesses and creators can monetize what they do.
So LT5 provides value for creators by allowing them to sell cheap tickets, creating branded tokens that help their most loyal fans, and provide them community engagement tools that keeps their community active even after the event. For the fans, we allow them to invest in their favorite creators as they grow, so they can appreciate that. They can earn access to secret events based on events they've been to in the past, and flex the NFTs to their friends and family like we all do. We're going to have paid event fees, premium subscriptions, and
thank you very much.
Things.
And it's now time for questions. 4 minutes for questions from judges. William?
Yeah, so how do you guys dethrone Ticketmaster? It seems like they have a complete monopoly over the space. How do you guys get in the picture and take over some of their business?
So we're relying on the blockchain infrastructure. We're using the DSO blockchain that's built to support social media applications. We're building on top of it. So we're going to combine it all. We're going to allow businesses create their events, engage with their communities through our app, through the blockchain that we're built on. It's going to be like, there's a lot of monetization tools that are built already into the chain that we're going to be using. It's like if I were to make an example, like our go-to strategy is we're going to be starting with sports bars. That's something I've done in the past with sports betting apps, taking them to mass adoption. We're going to go similar route. Partner with a bar. We call them token lunch parties, token lunch events, where we will organize this event for the bar. Their customers will purchase tickets as NFTs or get access to the event through NFTs as tickets. And we'll help them purchase or like set up their accounts, purchase coins of that bar. So they'll be invested, sort of become stockholders of that bar. And bars can offer various benefits to their coin holders. So they're creating loyal customers through that. They also have skin in the game. Different benefits like, I don't know, skip the line, maybe discounts on drinks, merch. Like you can go like whatever your imagination, whatever ways you want to continue monetize with this like extra stream of income.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, can I? I think one of the most interesting things you mentioned here to blast through on this is the data that you're going to have on niche creators. This is going to be very valuable to brands. I've seen a few of these pitches, which is brands will want to say who in my micro influencers. Right now, it's pretty spray and pray. So how do you really dig into that? Because it doesn't necessarily have to do with traffic, and Google will start to adjust this, which is it's not just clicks anymore; it's the value of the community that you're going towards, and that is pretty unique. So how do you? If you can talk about that for a second.
One of the services we'll be providing through our premium subscriptions will be kind of matching events with valuable customers, because we'll be able to see their history of events that they went to, that they the coins that they hold, like of which businesses they hold or which creators they hold. That will tell us their like scope of interest, their how valuable I guess they are to the business. So we'll be able to have be like a Tinder for events, if that makes sense.
Right.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I think I can keep this brief. I like the shirt, nice Sui shirt. Other question that I had here was on brand. How do you guys use AI as it relates to, I'm assuming matchmaking. Matchmaking must have some type of personalization associated with it.
Okay, you have like 10 seconds to answer.
We were planning on using AI when you come to the site to find the events for you and connect you with creators and things like that.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey everyone, my name's Eli. I'm
Wait,
the co-founder. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't start the timer. So, you ready?
Yep.
Go.
Hi everyone, my name's Eli. I'm the co-founder and CEO of MiFi, and we're building the Robinhood for emerging markets. Using MiFi, anyone can self-custody, swap and send US dollars, euros, treasuries, equities, crypto, and enjoy instant settlement 24/7, 365 with no bank account needed. You can go to MiFi.com, check out the app right now, the live MVP. Unfortunately, it won't be live for US users, but I'll airdrop you some USDC to get started so you can try out the swaps. So in effect, what you can do is you can create a high yield savings account backed by actual US treasuries, self-custody on your phone and instantly, or de facto retirement account backed by actual S&P 500 shares instantly from anywhere in the world. So why are we building this? Personal finance is really broken in most emerging markets, whether it's from currency-related issues due to inflation or capital controls, really substandard banking, the worry about bank runs, lack of available fintech solutions due to brain drain or regulatory hurdles. And because of that, emerging markets have really fell far behind. This is something that I've had to live through myself. My wife's parents are from Ecuador. They've been doctors for 30 years there, and they have to put all their money into real estate. Two issues really come to hand. In the early 2000s, when Ecuador switched from the sucre to the US dollar overnight, a lot of people who had their money in banks were applied the bank rate by Ecuador, and they lost a ton of money because they weren't able to self-custody. That's one thing we're offering. And then also, we're giving the ability for anyone in emerging markets to kind of plug in directly to these tokenized real-world assets. And so that's what we're doing here. MiFi gives you the ability to quickly hedge against currency risk with instant FX swaps across multiple currencies, a built-in high-yield savings product backed by actual U.S. treasuries, seamless access to leading equities and ETFs with deep liquidity and reliable execution, and the ability to send and receive money globally instantly with instant and real-time settlement. So the way we do this, our kind of big point is that we want to give a really simple, intuitive user interface built to connect anyone in the world with tokenized RWAs, no matter your tech or crypto skills. So we want to actually let your grandparents be able to actually access these products. And we've made a huge effort with our kind of simple, intuitive user interface. It's like a Robinhood or PayPal type user experience that lets anyone using Privy to abstract account management, key signing, and then our own interface to abstract everything from how the assets appear themselves. We built upon the Solana protocol for instant quick payments, Jupiter API for instant trustless swaps within our app, and then also the tokenized RWAs that allow our users to self-custody all these products. So we're using USDC, USC for our stablecoins, USDY from Ondo Finance, which actually came from, and X assets for our tokenized stocks, Oro Gold for our tokenized commodities, and then U assets to allow about 80 different cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, SWI, Doge, to all be traded directly from our app. So our business model currently is pretty simple. With the current version, we take a 0.5% fee on all swaps and a 0.5% fee on all off-ramp transactions through blind pay.
We're at time. Yeah. Questions from the judges. At your discretion, you may allow him to finish.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, you want me to go ahead?
Adam,
okay, cool. Okay, so we have a subscription model coming soon that's all kind of focused on leverage, the ability for people to borrow against their stocks using stuff like Camino. We're using Hyperliquid for a perpetual futures product, so that's going to come soon for our more advanced users that want to gain leverage, but also still stay fully self-custody and fully on-chain as well. Market size is huge in terms of the total unbanked population. We have $1 trillion stablecoin market expected by 2030. Huge neobanks in regions like Latin America, like Nubank, and then the specific region that we're focusing on is Latin America. We think that we can really hit that hard. They're very kind of forward in terms of stablecoin usage already, and huge interest in these products. And I was able to actually see that. I was running the onboarding for Ondo Finance. Was able to see the huge interest in those areas. And so there's a huge kind of 200 million smartphone users in Latin America, and a huge adoption already of crypto and stable wallets on there. So that's kind of where we're going to hit first. And we're going to, in terms of our go-to-market, we're going to start in Mexico City and Brazil, kind of limited a little bit with our on-off-ramp partners right now. And I'm Eli Lewitt, the co-founder and CEO. I've been interning in the space for several years. My co-founder is Gavin. He's a current computer science student at UC Irvine. So there we go.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes for questions.
What's the user experience like?
The user experience right now, we're kind of really trying to mimic a Robinhood or PayPal type experience. So when you go on the app, and you can go check this out, everything about the crypto UI UX is abstracted out from Privy managing the key wallet management and signing process. So when you send a transaction or do a swap, it just looks like a normal face recognition situation. Then even how the assets are presented is abstracted too. So it's US dollars instead of USDC. Of course, we give disclosures to let people fully know what they're holding, but yeah.
Okay, so how do you plan to gain traction in Mexico City and in Brazil? And then those are two somewhat different markets.
Sure.
How do those plans differ?
Yeah. So we're starting in Mexico City. I was really lucky to win this Zell Fellowship program through Northwestern to go get funded there to start out and test out our go-to-market strategies for about 2 or 3 months. One thing that we're really lucky with in terms of our go-to-market is that we're able to kind of systematically and programmatically airdrop to anywhere in the world that we want to start off with. So in terms of getting referrals, promotions started, it's super easy to go down there, start some, have some like social media get started, have some influencers on the ground, get things started, and see what works and what doesn't. We raised a little bit of funding to kind of test that out, and we're going to test it out in one city just to see what works, what doesn't, and then we'll kind of take the lessons that we learned to other markets and apply those.
Yeah, just a quick one. Do you then go to Mercado Bitcoin, or do you compete with them, or do you say, hey, we're going to use you as a distribution channel, any of those existing exchanges in both Mexico and Brazil?
Yeah, so although I love Nubank and Mercado Bitcoin or Mercado Libre, I think they're great products. We're offering something fundamentally different. We're actually offering, A, full self-custody, which I think is really important, and B, we're kind of this kind of interface that leads people to be able to actually use DeFi products, which Nubank and Mercado Libre don't offer. So while those are huge, really trustworthy, great institutions with great products, we're able to be way more nimble in terms of just like, last week, X Assets and Auto Finance announced that they're adding tokenized equities. We're able to kind of instantly add that to our product suite, without the, millions of dollars, hours of engineering work and legal work that are required, to add just one of those verticals, whether it's Ondo with the tokenized equities or the stocks, stuff like that. So that's our advantage over these larger companies like that.
Just to follow up, will you have people on the ground in these markets, or are you doing it remotely?
We're just starting. So we just actually, we're kind of going through the hackathon circuit. We were lucky to place in the recent Solana hackathon, just started raising money. So like I mentioned, we're just going to go start off in Mexico City. I think it's a good region to test out some go-to-market strategies. We'll see what works from there, but we're going to focus on Latin America. In my opinion, there'll be like 5 to 10 winners of these like DeFi wrappers around the world in different regions. But we're going to start with Latin America just based off the data that we've seen.
Yeah. Thank you very much,
Thank you
Ali.
so much.
Thank you, MiFi.
All right. Last but not least, Surf.
The green big button is to advance, and this is your mic.
Hi, everyone. My name is Saad Azari. I have an MS in Applied Analytics from Columbia University, and my partner has 6 years of blockchain experience. We have an advisory board of people from some MBB firms, some partners, and Google and XMeta. But why do these partners want to work with us? You see, they noticed the same problem that we have. 90% of Americans lack access to a wealth manager. And $1 trillion sits idle in US bank accounts. You see, 80% of Americans don't even have access to the wealth managers, and they don't use their robo-advisors. So the traditional wealth managers don't even talk to you if you don't have at least $250,000. Robo-advisors are passive. They just put your money into an index fund and let it ride. But real people are dealing with inflation, market volatility, and no clear path to build their wealth. Americans are building debt. So what's the solution? Introducing Surf, a revolutionary fintech platform that leverages the power of blockchain technology and artificial intelligence to ensure that you can invest smartly and efficiently. You see, Surf has AI-powered automated investing into fully liquid tokenized assets. And if any asset falls below 70% of its initial investment, it would automatically exit and then rebalance. We also allow you to manually input if you want to choose a specific asset. This is based on your goals. And at the end of the week, there will be a weekly leadership. So a weekly leaderboard where you can see the top performing portfolios. The market size, our TAM, is around $74 trillion. The SAM is 25 and $5 billion for our SOM. Our business model, we make money a few ways, through transaction fees and wealth management. And then we stand out from our competitors through quite a few ways, but especially through having fully liquid assets for AI investing. And we use smart contracts if there's any collateral that's held for loans and stuff. Okay, our projections, our traction. Ever since we launched our MVP for phase 1 in February, we've had around 3,500 active users showing interest on our platform. We have been a part of the National iCorps program, where we got a $50,000 grant from them. We're a part of Columbia University Startup Lab. We were semifinalists at Consensus. We were finalists at the HALT competition, which is, we were a part of the 0.4% of startups. And yeah, we're looking to raise $1 million for 7% equity. That's what we're looking to give. And our go-to-market strategy, looking to partner with universities, campuses, yeah, digital marketing. We have.
And it's time for questions from judges.
Hey,
thank you.
Thank you. When I look at that and I say like, hey, if you're not using a wealth manager, in my head I go, you're on Robinhood. So why does this looks like Robinhood just eats this and does all of these features overnight, like when they're already doing probably insert some of them. So maybe I'm mishearing it, but what's the big difference between somebody who doesn't have a wealth manager and is just going to use Robinhood as that type of a tool?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So there's a couple things. Like Robinhood, you're going to manually invest in whatever you think is best, and you could be wrong. A lot of people don't want to take the risk. That's why $1 trillion is just sitting in their bank accounts, right? They could use Robinhood right now, but they're not. But I think the biggest thing is we do have like a CFP that's joining us on our board, so he will be a wealth manager. But for users, it's just our AI it's fully liquid, and so it will automatically tell them this is the best thing to invest in. It will invest in that.
I guess what I'm saying is, if you're doing that, how is Robinhood, not doing some similar LLM that basically takes all the strategies that they want and imports it and they're a click away? What's the moat there?
Yeah, so Robinhood, they're not doing this currently, right? They're not doing this currently. And yeah, we'll see. I feel like we stand out in a few different ways. This one part of our platform is fully liquid, for example. Robinhood is not fully liquid. We have a leadership board, which makes it more gamified, right? So at the end of the week, you can see how you're performing versus your friends. And then, yeah, there's another side to it, which you can also lend money to your friends and family. I didn't talk about that because that's not our main thing. But you can lend money to your friends and family. There's a contract that's there. And the terms and conditions get converted into our smart contract. So let's say your cousin asks you for $10,000. You give it out to him through our platform. He can put any of these tokenized assets that he has as investments into our collateral, into our smart contract. So if he defaults after $7,000, it automatically liquidates and sends it back to you. So yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So does the company take on any additional risk by recommending certain investments and certain strategies to people?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, honestly, and that's one of the people on our advisory board that I didn't show the face for because he hasn't signed the contract yet. That's something that we were talking about just yesterday. And so, honestly, I don't really know at this point. I can't really answer that, but I'll have a more clear answer once I discuss with these guys the exact way because we have different opinions right now of how we should move forward with this, but I can't answer that right now.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the pitch. I think one thing as you talk and we go through the deck, wondering how does the AI component itself evolve over time? It starts off as a wealth manager. Does it evolve to an agent that could potentially execute trades on your behalf? And do you then have multiple different agents? How does that product and that feature itself grow over time?
So yeah, that is what we're trying to do is it will execute trades on your behalf. So that's another difference from Robinhood, right? Is it executes the trades on your behalf. And if any trade that you choose, so for example, I want to invest $5,000, 1,000 in Bitcoin, 1,000 Ethereum, 1,000 in tokenized real estate or something. If any of them falls below 70%, so let's say it falls to $700, it automatically exits and then puts it into something else. It asks you if you want to rebalance into, let's say, Ethereum because that's performing well or something. So it automatically invests for us. Yeah.
That's a common feature. That's a stop loss.
Yeah. It's a margin call for exit.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, what's going to happen next? Next, our judges have a link to score startups, and they will select the winner who will take home the prize, $15,000, this little memorial, and the title of pitch competition winner in Chicago. So, judges, please make it work. Adam, you done? Wow. So a little debrief. Who's your favorite tonight?
Mine was MiFi.
And why?
I think the Latin American market is very interesting, and I think with what they've achieved, at least I haven't seen the flow, but they have a prototype that they're launching. It seems that they're on the ground there already, and that market is pretty fractured. And there is really only two markets that matter in Latin America, and it's those two. So, plus I really liked Robinhood is, throwing parties in Nice in France. They're not doing that in Latin America just yet, so he's got a little bit of an advantage.
Exactly. Okay. So sometimes the judges favor one startup and score another way. So please be prepared for that. Who else? David, you done? Who's your favorite tonight?
My favorite was MiFi as well. I really like the Latin American market. I think it's a proven use case. So, yeah, they impressed me the most.
Okay. Second best? Okay, while David is looking, William, who is your best tonight?
I thought it was MiFi as well. I thought they had the best target market. It was a pretty clear path to actually getting revenue, gaining traction. I like they're focused on a specific target market, even though there's differences between Mexico City and Brazil in terms of language barriers. It seems like they're focusing on Mexico City where they're going to have some boots in the ground. But I thought that was the best realistic product for making money and at the long-term growth.
And let me add the other one that I really liked was I liked the Love That For You creator part. I think that is the thing that I took away they should do more of. And when we see prediction markets now on live events, you saw the Astronomer CEO, this whole thing. That prediction market went live on Kalshi and Polymarket like that. I think you'll start to see creator markets like this, and you're already seeing companies like Forecast do this. Will iSpeed beat Ashton in a race? Will whomever? Will Ninja do XYZ on his live stream? And I think those, if they can get close to those communities and weave them into a prediction market, I think people will bet on those.
Very good. Abdul, who's your favorite?
I liked all the startups here. Very appreciative of their time. We're Web3 AI investors, so I think the projects that we picked speak for themselves as it concerns the areas that we invest in. Very appreciative of Sarf. Sarf does a lot in AI wealth management. This is an area we very much believe in as well.
Okay, Sarf, MiFi. David, who was your second best?
I think NDP was very interesting. There's a lot going on there, and I think they probably need to parse that out somewhat. But I like the strategy in the U.S. of focusing on kind of the niche markets and those kind of separate communities and trying to really gain a foothold there and gain traction among those different affinity groups.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that has some really unique potential.
All right, very good. So now I do have a winner already. All the scores calculated. I double checked because now there is a lot of pressure on me. We have a monetary price, yeah, we need to audit all the logs of judges, make sure everything is compliant. What happens next? I announce the third and second place for statistical purpose, for you guys to see where you stack towards the other pitches. I announce the winner. He gets on stage, get the prize, have a photo with me, then with all the judges and with all the other startups. So be prepared to come to the stage, exercise a little bit. All right, so statistics. Number 3 is unicorns. All right, number 2 is Sarf. And now the winner, and it shouldn't be a surprise by this point, right? It's MiFi. Ellie, come on stage. And then judges and startups be ready to come on stage for the picture as well. And let's shake hands. Super.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, judges, progress, come on stage to have a photo. Tyron Russell, where are you sitting? Come here.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. That's your check to redeem.
Oh, okay.